This is not a settlement or anything, no, but it is indoors. Oh, it's metaphysical. Oops, I hope I didn't cheat. You have to have a condition on you to enter metaphysical. I might have waltzed into the Temple of Madness not paying attention to that metaphysical icon. So what I'm going to do is discard something that would have given me a condition, in any condition. I guess that's just a spider cider, right? Discard this to make a constitution check. If you pass, you're exalted. If you fail, you're poisoned. So no matter what I would have rolled, poisoned, she was poisoned anyway. Exalted just would have raised her magic ability, which she never rolled anyway. So assuming that I had no conditions when I tried to walk into the Temple of Madness, I am going to say that the fishy confectioner drank the spider cider, and this gets shuffled back into the food deck. Having rested since whatever condition, whether it was poisoned or exalted, that she had has now been shrugged off. But it let us enter a metaphysical space. So one of the reasons you want to carry drugs and cider with you, in case you need to ingest something to get metaphysical. Oh my, speaking of metaphysical, I have not spent enough time in metaphysical spaces to realize this. When you recover in a metaphysical space, do not remove status conditions other than detained. All right, well, backing up. So it's when you recover. All right, so we would have shrugged off the slimed condition after combat, but we didn't get rid of poisoned, invigorated, so at least we got that going for us. And we now do need to roll what would the spider cider have given us when we came in to the temple, because we might have had, instead of poison, let's see, what is it? If you pass, you're exalted. If you fail, you're poisoned. All right, so if she passes her constitution check, she's also going to be exalted, which is just magic, which isn't going to help her much. I don't think she has anything that rolls against that. All right, constitution check. So she failed, so she would be poisoned from the spider cider. All right, so because we're in a metaphysical space, we are resting. None of these status conditions are removed. So having rested there, we are now doing our danger draw. We are resting in a 5, 3 means we will have an encounter. The watchtower goes to a 1. It's exactly what I was worried was going to happen. All right, so we are going to encounter 3 monsters. There is this icon, meaning we would normally have a random encounter, but when there's a void gate present, you do not have a random encounter. You may instead attempt to close the void gate. But first, let's fight these 3 monsters. 1, 2, 3, the last of the Highline monsters. Once this is depleted, for us to draw, we're going to shuffle in the really scary Highlands monsters. A platter pest. Ugh, don't eat that. It is a thief. Instead of doing damage, it will try to run off with our gold. So the highest gold pieces is, of course, the fishy confectioner. Accompanying the platter pest is a log lurker. It has ambush if we're outdoors, but guess what? The Temple of Madness is indoors. The highest perception, which is going to be the Void Witch. I actually might put this on the Fugitive Fop, because I don't want the Void Witch taking any damage. Because she's going to have to... she's going to be trying to close that stupid void gate, and that will hurt her. So, well, before we decide there, let's check this last one. A belligerent hooligan. Remember this fella? We paid him the toll at the watchtower, and now he's back. He's a dimwit. Oh, actually, I think, did we fight him or did we pay him a toll? Whatever. We've met this guy before. Yeah, we must have paid him the toll because he got shuffled back in the deck. All right, so that is the highest morale, which is going to be, yeah, the Fugitive Fop. So let's see. Let's put the Log Lurker on the Fugitive Fop as well. Actually, the danger of that is if the Fugitive Fop gets hurt, she cannot heal because we're in a perilous space. If the Void Witch gets hurt, she can heal. All right, so we'll put the Log Lurker, which is highest perception, on the Void Witch, the highest morale, so that still is going to go there. All right, so one for everyone. So starting with the Fugitive Fop, using the weighted pistol, rolling against her agility for defense for a change, and her attack is rolling against agility. The power die applies to defense. Oh, and our weighted pistol ignores a point of armor, which is good because the belligerent hooligan is armored. Yikes, huge, massive defensive failure. The attack did succeed, so that's good news. We intercept 1 point of damage. Oh, it's a dimwit, so dimwits don't know how strong they are in the first round. This dimwit, you're dumb. The dimwit's attack is 1 on the first round. Our failed defense roll, because this applies to defense, our power die intercepts the dimwit's 1 point of damage. Let's see, 5 points of damage, ignoring 1 point of armor, kills the belligerent hooligan before it can wise up and realize that its attack was actually a 4. The Void Witch, yeah, let's be safe and use the Mystic Shield. So there is a magic roll. Wait. Yeah, all right, so there's the magic roll. There is the agility roll for defense. The power applies to agility, and this is to raise the Mystic Shield. A Log Lurker has an attack of 4. Succeeded with defense, added with the 6 points of damage, put 6 points on the Mystic Shield. And now over to the Fishy Confectioner, fending off a platter pest who will try to steal gold with an attack of 4. I would kind of like to not have my gold stolen because I now need to go back to the watchtower and spend 20 of it. We just use the black sword because it's fancy. There's no reason to use that, or yeah, it doesn't matter against the platter pest. All right, so we're black swording a platter pest. Let's see, the defense succeeded, so it's not going to steal any gold from us. The attack did 4 points of damage, which will kill it. That would have healed up a wound, but we're not wounded. All right, next round, the Fugitive Fop will use the weighted pistol against the Log Lurker. Oops. Agility of 8, succeeded, 4 points of damage, 1 point of armor ignored, kills it. This gets lowered to a 4. We have 2 points of experience here and 2 points of gold. And we have 1 point of experience here and 2 points of gold. A loot roll of... Oh, loot is gold. Yeah, you know, okay, I almost cheated myself before. A loot roll of 2. If either of these hits, she gets loot. So she gets a loot. And then a loot roll here of 2. She gets a loot as well. So 2 loots. 1 for the Fishy Confectioner, 1 for the Fugitive Fop. Fishy Confectioner finds holy oil. Fugitive Fop finds a studded vest. Ooh. Look at this. It's got a point of armor on it. How awesome is that? Now it's a heavy item. You can only carry 2 of those. Because remember, we sold our Scrog of Burden. It's not heavy if your strength is 8 or more. Nobody qualifies for that. An invigorated Fishy Confectioner. So the problem is, the Fishy Confectioner cannot wear this if she's carrying around the spiked maul and the black sword. Which I think is okay, because the Fishy Confectioner's main defense is all of her hit points. I think we're going to let the Void Witch wear a studded vest. How fashionable. And the Void Witch has no heavy items. Whips and daggers are super light. You can keep those in a vest pocket right next to your pocket watch. And then this Holy Oil. Discard to inflict D6 on demons, undead, or witches. If we had Puritans in our party, did we have a Puritan? No. Yeah. Then they can become blessed. All right, so who wants to carry this around? Again, I think it's something the Void Witch would carry. Holy Oil. So the cool thing about that combat is nobody got hurt, because we now are going to attempt, we don't have an encounter, we are instead going to attempt to dispel the Void Gate. This Void Gate here needs 6 points of wound markers placed on it. How do you place those wound markers? Glad you asked. You make a magic check. As many players, as many characters in the party as want can make a magic check. Each result, the magic check, remember that's if you pass your higher die, is the number of these wound tokens we place. However, the lowest die, whether you pass or succeed at your magic check, that you take in what's called Void Shock, which is piercing damage. That normally piercing damage is just damage because armor is so rare here. But if you'll note, our Void Witch with her studded vest, a studded vest won't protect you from Void Shock. All right, here we go. Magic check of 9. All right, good. Now it's going to be tempting. So we pass the magic check. We take 1 point of Void Shock damage. And we put 5 wounds on the Void Gate. Womp, womp. So if I expose the Fishy Confectioner and Fugitive Fop to potential void damage, if either of them makes a 7, alternatively we just stay here another turn. I think we're going to stay here another turn because here was the issue. I was concerned about dilly-dallying because I was worried about this being drawn and lowering this. It happened. So I think we can take a little bit more time to, play it safe. Oh, and plus, I know another condition that we couldn't shake off because of Metaphysical. We're still fatigued. So I forgot who failed the fatigue roll. I think it was just these two, but those don't get removed either. So we can't fast travel out of here. We're going to have to go through the Slaver's Pass, which has a danger of 5. So, all right, that's the end of that turn. We're going to, for the next map action, just rest. And let's see, the Void Witch makes a check of 9 for morale to heal up. She heals that point of damage. No one else has damage. We actually can spend some experience here. The Fishy Confectioner has 9. I mean, we were going to do it sooner or later, so let's flip over to the front, which will cost us 8 of those 9. And that just means if the Fishy Confectioner gets 3 attackers on her, she can do some dice manipulation, which can be very helpful. That's the rest action. Let's draw. All right, well, a couple of things. We're going to have a fight. But now we're going to reshuffle the danger deck, which means the Watchtower is back in play. All right, so 3 monsters. We don't have an encounter because we're still closing this. Now, here's the deal. Out of this deck of cards here, we take the 3 Fearsome Highlands monster cards, and those are all going to be experience point value 3s. And we're going to shuffle a Watcher, maybe see these later, a Tower Terror Tower, a Vermis Puppeteer, and a Mountain Warlock into the discard pile. And here we now have a newly dangerous Highland monster deck. Of these newly dangerous cards, we are drawing 3 of them. A Tree Terror. We're not outdoors, so the ambush doesn't affect us. The curse, however, will, as will the summon. The highest perception. So the curse means you make a magic check. If you fail, you lose a point of luck. We could just put it on the Fugitive Fop, who has no luck to lose. But actually, we're going to put it on the Void Witch. I mean, at this point, when overall I've got 2 points of luck. Oh! Speaking of luck, you gain 1 luck each time a Void Gate is placed on the board. I was actually looking forward to that one. Which now, I am going to put the Tree Terror on the Fugitive Fop. Because I have a choice, they both have the same perception. I do not want to lose luck at this point. I have just enough now to stave off the Hand of Doom 1 more time. All right, we have Billy Verst. Remember this fella? Okay, so anyone who's demoralized, which at this point is no one, he's abusive against them, which I think means he gets +1 attack. Lowest morale. So it can be the Fishy Confectioner or the Void Witch. Let's delay that decision. And an Outlaw Wizard. If you ask to see this guy's papers, he doesn't have any. He's illegal. All right, so he's going to try to summon someone, as is the Tree Terror. We don't want them summoning things. Oh, the Outlaw Wizard summons someone from the wetlands. If he summons someone at all. Oh, and he's got an attack of 5, so he's a bit of a pill. And he goes on the highest magic, so that's going to be the Void Witch. I guess we'll put Billy Verst on the Void Witch as well. We're not going to spend too much time here, but again, remember we're in a perilous space. And plus the Void Witch now is wearing a lovely studded vest. So actually the curse we do roll because, let me verify, it's against magic. Yeah, it's magic. Because even though he can't lose luck, he would be demoralized if he's cursed. You get bummed out when you're cursed. So he made the magic check, no demoralizing takes place, no other arrival abilities. The Fugitive Fop will, I guess in guard mode, use the weighted pistol. Agility of 8 for both situations. Failed defense to only intercept 2 points of damage. Attacked and hit with 3, it bypasses 1 armor, so almost killed it. It's going to summon something. Oh, unless the Fishy Confectioner can stop it. Intercepting 2 of the incoming 4, which means 2 wounds. And that was defense. That was guard. Also, of course, on guard mode. Here's her magic check. For the Mystic Shield, here's her defense, and the power die goes to defense. So magic of 9, agility of 8. The agility succeeds, intercepts all the damage, 5 points on the Mystic Shield. Now, let's see. So the Fishy Confectioner just needs to take out the Tree Terror. It looks like the Outlaw Wizard is going to summon something from the wetlands. The advantage of the wetlands, by the way, is none of the more powerful creatures have been shuffled back into that deck. So Fishy Confectioner using her quick action to swap to the Spiked Maul, because since she is in Assault stance, she can ignore 1 point of armor, which is what it's got. Rolling against her strength, she's invigorated, so that's an 8. So at the end of the first round, the Tree Terror summons something local, the Outlaw Wizard summons something from the wetlands. There's the Outlaw Wizard summon, there is the Tree Terror summon. All right, our guest from the wetlands A scroggling swarm. I wonder if they're upset because we sold our beast of burden, our scrog of burden. All right, they drain. If they do damage, they heal themselves up a point. Slime, of course, means we lose a point of agility for the rest of the battle. The lowest agility is Fishy Confectioner. There's some irony, sad irony. The Fishy Confectioner swarmed by her own kind. All right, this Highlands monster is... oh, for a minute I thought it was that Tower Terror, but nope, it's just an outhouse. The fighting outhouse. Ambush, I think, on when you arrive as a reinforcement. Can you still ambush? I think you can. Let me verify that. Ambush has no effect after the first round of a fight. A monster with ambush that is summoned to the fight late does not force a test. Haha, outhouse. All right, it does have 2 points of armor. Infect means, I think, if it does damage, you make a Constitution check. If you fail, you are... Oh, if you fail, you're infected, right? Not poisoned. Infected meaning the next time that you do a recover action, you don't recover any hit points, you lose the infected status. All right, we don't want that lowest morale, and that would be the Void Witch or the Fishy Confectioner. Let's put the Void Witch up there because you can use this to keep from being infected, I hope. All right, so starting the second round of combat, the Tree Terror still on the Fugitive Fop, rolling with the weighted pistol, will kill, defend successfully, does not hit. Oh, but wait, Deadeye Shot. Oh, no, you can only use the Deadeye Shot if you are in assault mode. And would that have helped us? Yes, it would have. But that's why we don't want anyone on the Fugitive Fop. The Void Witch, there are 5 points on the shield. No, we're going to keep charging the shield up. So she's on defense. Instead of an attack, she's going to do a magic check for the Mystic Shield. Her defense succeeded, intercepted 4 points of damage, which means 1 point comes in from the Outlaw Wizard, which will come off of here. And then 5 points get put on the shield, which is maxed out now at 9. Is that the maximum? Yes, 9 wounds. The Fishy Confectioner, guarding against all of these scroglings. And again, I don't think it matters. The Black Sword is more dramatic, so we'll fight with that. So, attacking with a strength of 8, defending with an agility of 7. The power die goes to defense because we're guarding. If she takes damage, she is slimed. Successfully defended against 6, nothing hits. Attacked for 4 points of damage, which those things can take a lot of damage. On to the next round of combat. Fugitive Fop trying to get the Tree Terror off of her back. Failed to defend, but the 4 intercepts all the damage. This did hit and killed it. The Void Witch's Mystic Shield is maxed out. I feel like, because if it takes damage this turn, and she is also using a magic check to pump more points into it, like she can just sit there and let everyone else kill those things. I do want her to get some experience, though. All right, I don't think she can actually kill something. She's not liable to kill something on the first round. Although it would be nice. Yeah, let's wait till they're weakened first. So we're just going to go crazy and just basically sit there putting magic into this Mystic Shield. So agility of 8, magic of 9. The agility intercepts 4 points of damage. The Outlaw Wizard does 1 point of damage. Oh, the Studded Vest would intercept that. Yeah, if you would take a wound, which she wouldn't because of the Studded Vest, So nothing happens. So defense is fine. She puts 5 more points into the Mystic Shield. Can you overload a Mystic Shield? Like, can it blow a fuse? Fishy Confectioner, dealing with the Scroggling Swarm. Now, if the swarm does any damage, it will heal itself up a point. All right, so successfully defended 4 points, but the Scroggling Swarm has an attack of 5, so that's 1 point of damage inflicted on the Fishy Confectioner. Can the Fishy Confectioner? Yeah, the Fishy Confectioner can just eat these guys after the battle, and they heal up 1 point of damage. Hits for 3, which puts it at 6. All right, next round of combat. We will have the Fugitive Fop now. Let's see about weakening someone for the Void Witch to kill. This is 2 experience and 2 gold. I'd kind of like to weaken the Outlaw Wizard, not kill it. So I am going to assault using the throwing knives, which will give me some options. All right, so the throwing knives roll against agility of 8. So here we go. I could kill this thing. So that's a hit. I could do 5 points of damage and kill it. But what I'm going to do is use the Deadeye Shot. If you make a ranged attack this turn, which I did, you may swap the value of a power die with the value of one of your attack dice. That becomes power, that becomes attack. Wait, but I would still do the same amount of damage, right? Shoot. All right, I'm not going to be able to finesse it. That could just change whether or not you hit. Dagnabbit. All right, fine. You know what? I killed it. I don't know. I just want to kill it anyway. Fine. It's dead. That's what I wanted. I'm okay with that. All right, the Void Witch. Well, now she's going to assault. Let's use the Sacrificial Dagger. The Barb doesn't matter. You know, that armor on that fighting outhouse is a bit of a pain. Let's attack Billy Worst. So we're in assault mode, using the Sacrificial Dagger, rolling agility of 8, defending with agility of 8. All right, the defense intercepted all the damage, which is good. We don't want to get infected. The offense did 3 points of damage to Billy Worst, whose armor intercepts 1 of them. Fishy Confectioner, trying to finish off these fellas. Strength of 8, agility of 7. Attacks, which will kill it. The defense intercepts all the damage. It is now dead. And now the next round. Fugitive Fop is going to go ahead and weaken the fighting outhouse with the weighted pistol. So that is a hit with an agility of 8. It does 6 points of damage. Ignoring 1 point of armor is now it only has 1 point of armor, which means 5 points of damage. All right, now we're set up for a kill for the Void Witch, who wants some experience. So we'll put her in assault mode, and we will go for Billy Worst, who... Is it Billy Worst or Billy Worst? Just Billy. So we're going to go for Billy with the Sacrificial Dagger. The defense succeeded. Oh, we were assaulting. The defense succeeded, intercepted 4 points of damage, and the attack kills Billy Worst. Billy. The Fishy Confectioner will assault the fighting outhouse, and using the quick action, equip the Spiked Maul, which will ignore a point of armor, using a strength of 8. Wow, well, 1 point of damage, which the armor intercepts. So the next round, I'm going to have the Void Witch go first. Get first crack at killing this thing. So, all right, she is in assault mode. Using her Sacrificial Dagger, she's rolling against 8s for both defense and offense. Well, failed the attack. Succeeded, defended against all the damage. Do I dare to just do the thing where the Fishy Confectioner and Fugitive Fop sit out? I think I will. With 9 points on a Mystic Shield, I would like her to get those 2 experience points. So Fugitive Fop and Fishy Confectioner, they're just hanging out. It's just between the Void Witch and the Fighting Outhouse. So the next round. The defense failed, intercepts 3 points of damage. 1 point gets through, but is intercepted by the Mystic Shield. The attack does 3 points of damage, 2 of which are intercepted by armor. So, oh, that kills it. It only had 1 hit point left. All right, easy enough. And now she gets this. So that was that battle. We give the Fugitive Fop 4 experience, 3 gold. We give the Void Witch 3 experience, 2 gold. And we give the Fishy Confectioner 2 experience, 2 gold. The Fishy Confectioner is already poisoned, so there's no reason not to eat these things. Oh, loot rolls first real quick. Loot roll of 2 for the Fishy Confectioner. That's a hit. Loot roll of 3 for the Void Witch. That is a hit. And a loot roll of 4 for the Fugitive Fop. All right, a little loot for everyone. The Fugitive Fop. An Executioner's Axe. That sounds promising. The Void Witch. A dart pistol. And we have sold our tranquilizer darts. And the Fishy Confectioner snake oil. All right, the Executioner's Axe. There are a few weapons like this in the deck, and they're pretty awesome. First of all, it's heavy. We don't have anyone. The Fishy Confectioner is carrying a couple of heavy things, but otherwise, I think that Goblin Jar is going to be heavy. Look at this. When you're in assault mode, you get an extra power die, and that gives you a lot of options. So it requires a strength of 8. Guess what? No one has a strength of 8. Okay, to carry this. So this is a little... So basically the Fishy Confectioner, while she's invigorated with her black sword, can use this, but she can't carry this, the spiked maul, and the black sword because she sold her Scrog of Burden. Whose idea was that? So here's what we're going to do. The Fishy Confectioner is carrying an Executioner's Axe and a black sword while wearing a night cloak. That's pretty badass. And the spiked maul will be carried by the Fugitive Fop, which can be handed over there if necessary. The Fishy Confectioner is already poisoned, so there's no reason not to eat this filthy, scroggling swarm using Gourmet. So make a Constitution check. If you pass, recover wounds equal to the lowest die. If you fail, you're poisoned. So we can't eat humans until we level that up. So Constitution check for her is a 7. We passed, so she heals that 1 point of damage. Okay, the dart pistol, which is just a ranged attack, uses agility. I mean, thematically, the Fugitive Fop can use guns akimbo. And actually, really, this is just vendor trash, which I can sell, and when the Fishy Confectioner sells it, she gets luck. And finally, snake oil, we definitely want to keep. This can cure plague. And if we have to swing down here through the lowlands, the cleansing elixir and the snake oil can come in handy. All right, we would normally have an encounter. Oh, I gotta shuffle this, by the way. We would normally have an encounter here, but because there's a void gate, we're instead going to Dispel. So that is a magic check for the Void Witch, which she succeeds, adds 5 wounds there. Once it has 6 wounds, it's dispelled, so this is gone. And because it fulfilled our quest, the bandit camp is turned down to a 1. Oh, and this goes to a 3, right? So we've done what we can here. We're still in a metaphysical space. We can't, we're not going to be resting. We're moving on. If we had rested, we couldn't get rid of any conditions because it's metaphysical. It's perilous for everyone. Oh, it's back to being perilous for the Void Witch because there's no more Void Gate. So let's just get out of here. Oh, shoot a monkey. Ugh.